Okay, in number 90, there's just a lot of factoring going on. So notice the parentheses. I'm going to start there. You would start there anyway because of the division. But looking at this first rational expression in the parentheses, it looks like I've got 4 terms. So I am going to factor by grouping and see if that helps me. So notice when I'm looking at those first 2 terms, they have an A in common. And so it would be A times the quantity C minus D. And then in the next 2, I notice that minus sign. So I'm going to factor out a negative B. And then I would have a C minus D. So I'm going to circle this so that you know what I'm working with. This numerator right here, I'm going to end up being able to factor into A minus B the quantity times the quantity C minus D. Now I'm going to do a similar factoring by grouping with the denominator. So I'm going to be able to factor out an A, and that's C minus D. And then I'm going to be able to factor out a positive B, which is C minus a positive B and times the quantity C minus D. So my denominator looks to be like it's going to be A plus B over C minus D. Now I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of my third fraction that's listed there. So that's A to the third plus B to the third over, well, then I notice this is a difference on the denominator, a difference of cubes, and on the numerator, a sum of cubes. So I know how to factor that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to have my numerator is going to be A plus B. And just so you know, I'm working on that sum of cubes right there. And so then I have A squared minus AB plus B squared all over. Now I'm going to focus on my difference of cubes, and so it's going to look very similar except for, of course, my signs. Now keep in mind I'm going to have that big parentheses. Now right here I could have even canceled a binomial right here, that C minus D over C minus D. I could have done that earlier on, but I just waited. Now, if I'm simplifying this parentheses, I notice right here I have an A minus B over A minus B, so that's canceling to 1, simplifying to 1. And then I also have an A plus B over an A plus B. So then what's left in that parentheses, I'm just going to write this out, is A squared minus AB plus B squared all over A squared plus AB plus B squared. And that's, of course, a trinomial. Now, I can't forget about my expression in the beginning. So I had an AB over A squared plus AB plus B squared. And I'm adding those. Well, I notice I have a common denominator. So that's really a good thing. So let's see here. I'm going to combine everything. I'm going to keep that common denominator. So I've got AB plus A squared minus AB plus B squared. Now I do notice that I can simplify that numerator because when I'm collecting my like terms, that AB minus AB is going to cancel. So I've got A squared plus B squared over A squared plus AB plus B squared. And I can't go any further. I've got a sum of squares, which I can't factor. And that's my answer.